Hi, and in this video, I'm going to be sharing 10 subtle signs a man is falling for you, but won't say it out loud. Hi, I'm Matt Shaffer, your empowerment, connection, and relationship coach, and I'm a former attorney who's committed his life to supporting you and having the sort of fun, fulfilling, dynamic connections and relationships with men that you are so worthy of. And I am super excited about this video. We're going to be diving into 10 subtle indicators, 10 subtle behaviors and ways that a man is showing up that communicate if he is catching feelings for you, if he's falling in love with you or not. And these are going to apply whether it's the beginning of a relationship or you're just starting to see someone, or you've been in a relationship for a long time. These are universal patterns, okay? But before we dive into it, be sure to take a second, hit that little subscribe button, and you're going to want to definitely click this link up above or in the description below, because I have a free 3-week live love course coming up called Mastery of Connection. We dive in on October 28th, and this is a 3-week live experience designed to help you revolutionize your relationships with men from the inside out. We're going to be diving into your attachment style, your personality type, and giving you tons of helpful insights on how to understand and connect with men through 15 video lessons and over 50 hours of live coaching with me. It is a tremendous value and an absolutely transformational experience. So be sure to click that link. And again, it's absolutely free, so you got nothing to lose, right? And if it's after October 28th, sign up anyway, because we'll either put you into this course as it's going or put you on our wait list for our next experience. Now, without further ado, let's dive into the video. And the first subtle sign is he remembers the little things. And this might be your coffee order. It might be some random story from your childhood, something you told him about your sister or whatever. If he is demonstrating that he's really, really listening to the nuances and the details in your life, that is a huge sign that he is emotionally investing in you and that he's really dropping in and being truly present with you. So just keep an eye out, right? If he is remembering that favorite flower that you say you love sunflowers and he shows up with sunflowers, that's a good sign that he is falling for you and that you can probably open your heart to him at a deeper level. And sign number 2 is he makes time for you no matter what. And this speaks to a timeless principle. See what I did there? That a man is never too busy for you. If a man says he is too busy to make time for you in his life, in his schedule, that is because he's just not there emotionally and he's not willing to make you a priority. And to be specific here, I'm not talking about him planning a date with you on Friday night or making time for you over the weekend when it's convenient for him. What I'm talking about is a man making time for you when it's not easy, right? So for example, he's got a busy day at work, but he still sets aside time to get coffee with you on his lunch break. Or he's had a long ass day, but he still gets on a late night phone call with you just to hear your voice and to catch up with you when he finally gets home that night. So these are examples of a man making you a priority when it's not easy, which is a clear sign that he is prioritizing you and that he is emotionally investing in you. And sign number 3 is he gets a little jealous, but not in a creepy way. All right, now let me explain this one. When a man is getting invested in you emotionally, when he's starting to fall for you, he might get a little possessive over you because he values you, right? And now as long as that's being expressed in a healthy way, it is definitely an indirect sign that he's starting to open his heart to you. And so it's just like little signs like that, like, oh, that guy's definitely flirting with you. If you're at a bar with him and, a guy starts talking to you and he's like, comes up and he's like, hi, and he just clearly is demonstrating that he's being a little protective over you, or he talks to you afterwards and he's just like, oh, that guy was definitely flirting with you. You know that, right? These are all signs that a guy is recognizing that other men are interested in you and that he's getting a little territorial, which I promise it's not a bad thing as long as he's doing it in a healthy way and he's not trying to be controlling or doing it from an insecure space. So just know, ladies, if a guy is being a little jealous, but he's doing it in a playful way and he's not being negative or toxic about it, it's definitely a sign that he's falling for you. And sign number 4 is he goes out of his way to help you. And this is huge because a core principle you got to remember here is that a man often communicates his emotional expression through his physical expression. Truly, with men, actions speak louder than words. So if a guy is offering to do things for you physically, I'm talking outside the bedroom here, it means that he is trying to show you that he cares about you. So if say you got a leaky sink and he wants to come over and fix it, or you need a ride and he automatically volunteers to give you a ride, if you see a guy being proactive with his actions towards you, it means that he is trying to communicate, hey, I like you. Hey, I want to do things for you. I want to be your provider. I want to be the guy that can swoop in and support you and help you when you need that help. That's a clear sign of masculine polarity and attraction towards you, and a good indicator that he's becoming emotionally invested in you. So look for that. If you say that you need something, does he move forward to try to fill that gap? If he's that guy, that means he's probably starting to catch some feelings for you. And sign number 5 is a sweet one. It's he compliments you beyond the surface. And this means when a guy's falling for you, he's not just going to tell you that you're pretty. Of course, he's probably going to do that, I hope. But he's also going to speak to your personality, the way that you make him feel, the quirks about who you are that he truly appreciates because he's seeing you at a greater depth. So if a guy talks to you about how much he loves your laugh, or how interesting he finds your hobbies, or just how much fun he has with you on a daily basis whenever you're hanging out with him, that's a great sign that he's emotionally investing in you. So just so you know, don't be shy to express the quirks or the sort of interesting, unique things about who you are, because a lot of times a guy who wants to develop deeper feelings and attraction for you, he's going to be drawn to the unique facets of who you are. So I just want to encourage you to just engage in your full unapologetic expression and just recognize that the man who is meant for you will celebrate and cherish those little details. And sign 6 is he initiates plans with you. And this is one of the most important and telltale signs of whether or not a guy is into you. When the masculine is inspired and activated by the feminine, he is going to want to take the lead and be the physical driver of the relationship. And when I say the physical driver, I just don't mean in the bedroom, right? I mean the physical driver in terms of the dating that you're doing. So if a guy is asking you, what's your favorite food? And then planning a date and then talking to you about what day he wants to go. I will pick you up at 7:30. Wear something cute. Right? That's a sign that a guy is fully in the driver's seat. He is activated by you and he's wanting to propel this relationship with you forward. So pay attention to whether a man is initiating with you and moving things forward with you, or are you someone who's having to sort of drag a guy and ask him, what are we doing this weekend? Are we hanging out? What do you want to do? If you're the one having to push him to make things happen with you, that's a sign that a guy is not emotionally investing in you, right? So pay attention to, are you able to just relax and trust a man to lead? If he is willing and able and excited to lead, that is definitely a sign that he's falling for you. And sign number 7 is a really powerful one, and that is he opens his inner world to you. And when I say his inner world, I mean those things within him that he doesn't feel comfortable or safe sharing with anybody else. His hopes, his fears, the things that are coming up for him, his feelings oftentimes, right? Maybe his vision for the future or the things he wants to build. If a guy talks to you about his future, trust me, it means that he wants you to be a part of it. He would not be talking about it if he didn't. And truly, if a man is talking to you about his feelings, it means that he has decided that you are someone who is safe to him. And that is so, so, so powerful, because one of the greatest gifts the feminine can give to the masculine is to be our emotional sanctuary. This is a core principle and something to remember, because what all the masculine really wants from the feminine is that opportunity to be emotionally safe with you. So if you have showed up in such a way that a man can open his heart and share his feelings with you, that is a huge sign that he's starting to fall for you in a deep and meaningful way. So be sure, as you're talking to a guy and as you're getting to know him, to continue to invite him, ask him, how are you feeling? What's coming up for you? The more you ask him how he's feeling and how you can support him in that, the more he's going to understand that you're a safe place for him to be vulnerable. So look for that in your relationships. And as a man becomes more open and more vulnerable with you, that is a huge indicator that he's starting to emotionally invest in you and that he's starting to fall for you. And sign number 8 is huge. It's he makes an effort to get to know your friends and family. This is massive. If a guy is asking questions about who you're friends with, who your family is, what are the dynamics between them, when can I talk to them, when can I meet them, that is a massive sign that he wants to be a deeper part of your life. If a guy has no attachment to anyone else in your life and just wants to see and hang out with you, chances are it's because he just wants to keep things casual, or he's got major emotional blocks. It's a big red flag. So be sure to pay attention for this sign, because it can often make or break the trajectory of a relationship. And sign number 9 is something you're going to be able to tell from the very beginning of getting to know a guy, and that is he's protective of you. And what I mean by that is he's decided that your safety is a huge priority for him and that he is responsible for it as your protector. So what are some ways that you'll be able to tell if a man is protective over you? Well, first off, he might walk on the outside of the sidewalk. While you're on the inside, he's on the outside between you and the road and the cars. Or after a date, he says, hey, call me when you get home. Let me know that you got home safe. So if a guy is consistently following up with you and demonstrating that your safety is a priority for him and that he wants to be your protector, that is a very clear indicator that this is not just a surface level thing and that he's starting to fall for you. And sign number 10 is probably the most important one of all, and that is he prioritizes your happiness. And this basically means that he's constantly thinking of ways to make you happy. That might look like him sending you funny memes while you've had a hard day at work, or him saving you the last bite of chocolate cake or the last slice of pizza. Like, he's constantly asking himself, what can I do? How can I show up just to make her day a little better? It doesn't have to be grand romantic gestures. It's often just in the little ways that he's showing up throughout the day, throughout the week, that demonstrate that your happiness is at the forefront of his mind. So just ask yourself, with a guy that you're dating or getting to know, is he demonstrating consistently over time that my happiness is a priority for him? Is he asking me where I want to go out to dinner or where I'd like to get takeout instead of just assuming and doing what he wants to do? If he's putting your happiness above his own needs on a regular basis, that's a huge sign that he's falling for you and that this relationship is headed in the right direction. And before I go, I want to share one overarching principle that's super important to remember when you're figuring out if a man is falling for you or not, if he hasn't told you yet, right? And that is this: a man's emotional investment is going to be communicated through his consistent behavior over time. You never want to base your understanding of how a man feels off of one thing he says or one thing he does. You want to look at the way he is showing up consistently over time. That is going to communicate so much more about where he's at emotionally than any one action he takes or any one thing that comes out of his mouth. And that goes both ways, right? Don't just assume because a guy does or says one thing that you don't like that he's not into you, and the other way as well, right? Just because a guy says or does one thing that's really sweet, don't create a huge story out of that. But if you look at how a guy is showing up over the course of weeks or months, you're going to clearly be able to tell based upon how you feel in your body in response to his actions or his words. That's your best indicator of where a man's at emotionally and if he's falling for you or not. So I hope that these tips help you. And if you want more support, again, I want to cordially invite you to join us for our free 3-week love course, Mastery of Connection. We start October 28th, and it is going to help you understand men on a completely different level and help you relate to them in a totally deeper and more meaningful way. So if you want to truly become a master of connecting with men and everyone else in your life and have better relationships, click that link up above or down in the description below. Again, it's a 3-week live love course. We start in just a couple weeks, and it's absolutely free, so you got nothing to lose. So I look forward to seeing you there, and be sure to stay tuned towards this next video where I'm gonna be showing you 10 telltale things a man says when he's falling in love with you. Now that we've talked about actions that a man takes, now we're gonna talk about specific things that he says that are gonna make him even more likely to be falling head over heels in love with you. So enjoy that video, and I look forward to seeing you again soon. Bye-bye. Now, the first thing a man might say when he's emotionally investing in you is, I really enjoy spending time with you. Now, to a man, his time is a sacred commodity.